technicals. We'll have Neerav Chera joining us very shortly on the show. And let me continue talking about a stock or a space that will be buzzing in trade. One is Jubilant Food Works, Devyani International and Sapphire Foods. The QSR space primarily will be in focus because Lapinoz has actually undertaken a weighted average permanent correction of about 15 to 20% on its entire menu. This is what Phillip Capital has written on the note, and the reasons for this sort of a correction in prices that Lapinoz has taken is one is the underlying weak consumer demand, and also in order to get incremental volume and gain market share. Remember, Lapinoz is third largest pizza chain in India after Domino's as well as Pizza Hut, and Gujarat, Maharashtra and Punjab accounts for more than 50% of their stores. So the fact that there's one player that's gone ahead and taken a huge substantial correction in its prices, we're likely to see that trickle down to the other players as well. So on back of that, you have the QSR space that is in focus, primarily Jubilant Food, Devyani International, as well as Sapphire Foods.
Okay, moving on to the next stock in focus, and from the auto pack, all these auto stocks are seen to be buzzing, and from the sector, picking up one particular stock, that is M&M, wherein ICICI Securities have actually upgraded the rating on this particular counter from an ad rating earlier and given it a buy rating. But the target price this time around is just 1,386 rupees, although they have made a correction out there, but is still holding above the current market price. What they are highlighting is the near-term challenges are priced in as per them. They expect M&M to receive 2,500 crores of cash in FY24 and 25 combined, and that will be as a result of selling their stake in the EV arm, helping it generate superior free cash flow with a budgeted capex and investments remaining unchanged for the year. Though they have cut their FY24 revenue and PAT estimates by 9 to 14%, and they have also made a correction of 8% in their target price, but they also believe that post the recent correction in the stock price, that is almost around 10% of correction in the past 6 months, and factoring in the cut in the tractor volumes because of the El Nino impact, if at all, M&M is currently trading at a cheaper valuations versus the long-term multiple of the stock, which was at 15 times, and currently, if you will see, that's trading at 12.5 times of FY25 core EPS. So that's on the back of this report. We are seeing M&M is buzzing.
All right, moving on. Let's go to Ashesha then. And Ashesha, RHI Magnesita, that's the counter that you are in focus. That is in focus. Why is it?
It is in focus, and that is because Nuvama met with the management of RHI Magnesita, and on the back of that, we have some takeaways that have come in. Management said that post-acquisition of Dalmia OCL, the company has unutilized capacity of about 150 KTPA. They say that these unutilized capacities will be ramped up in the upcoming 3 years. They say that they are not averse to further acquisitions as the company has strong balance sheet position. The company, however, does not wish to leverage as of now. They say that they will dilute equity via rights issue. Net debt, remember, stood at about 1,000 odd crores. They have EBITDA margins in the range of 14 to 15%, and management is confident of sustaining these EBITDA margin levels. So on the back of these takeaways that have come in from the management meet, the stock is gaining momentum, nearly 3% higher in trade for the stock.
Okay, but with this, let me welcome on board Neerav Chera joining us onto the technical fronts. Hi, a very good afternoon, Neerav. And quickly, let me come to you for your first pick, and that is from the IT space. You are eyeing at HCL Technologies. How are the charts looking like with the rebound in this particular counter? You expect the stock to continue its uptrend?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me again. HCL Tech at this point has gone down below a very important support area of 1070 odd, and post that, you are seeing some selling on rise in this stock. Even though it has rebounded today, I believe this stock is headed downwards. If you look at the peers, Tech Mahindra or TCS or Infosys, they've all come down. I believe this stock can come down further. It can go down towards the 1000 odd levels. So it can be a good short from current levels. If you're holding positions, exit it. Wait for 1000 levels to come, and that is where you buy again. The stop loss for short should be around 1090.
All right, moving on. Harsh, let's talk about Tata Power then, and how is this one in focus today, and why is this one in focus today?
Well, the management met with BNK Securities, Cheryl. So what they suggested is that They've closed down the Mundra unit till dues are recovered. They've sought intervention of the relevant ministry. Receivables stand at around 1800 crore due from the state discoms from the Mundra plant for 2023. Gujarat has the highest dues, followed by Maharashtra, Punjab and Haryana. Also, they believe that they have strong bargaining power to recover dues as the central government has imposed Section 11 and royalty and tax structure changes in Indonesia to make the coal joint venture of theirs more profitable. They are confident of avoiding power outages in Mumbai. That's the other thing that they've clarified on separately. And on the back of that, the stock was buzzing in early trade today, but it's come off those highs, still 0.5% higher in trade today.
Okay, so that's the news flow on Tata Power. But Nirav, this particular counter is also on your radar. Recently, the stock is seen to be under pressure. But do you expect this pressure to subside and hoping for some recovery, or the downtrend can continue for this one?
Yeah, about a 2-year consolidation has taken place in this stock, and post that, very, very important support level of 195 has been broken. So this pressure is very good for this particular stock. It needs to come down to again, witness a big uptrend, for the next couple of years. But first it has to come down. It can come down towards that 160, 165 odd levels, which is a strong support area, which is where it can probably make a base, and from there, it can witness some buying. So I believe at least there is an opportunity here for next 10-15% downside. You can look to short from current levels. 195 should be the stop loss. 160, 165 should be the target.
All right, moving on, let's talk about SML Isuzu and why is this one in focus. Firstly, take note of the stock price performance. It has hit an over 2-week high in today's trading session. As you can see, at one point in time, the stock was trading higher by about 4%, hitting the highest levels since March 10. The company has said that they will be raising the prices of the trucks and buses from April 1st, and this is to offset the high input cost due to the new safety emission norms as well as inflation. The prices of the trucks and the buses will go up by 4% and 6% respectively. So on back of that, there's SML Isuzu that is in focus in today's trading session, trading higher by about 2.7% as we speak.
Okay, let's shift focus to the oil space, and Nirav, you have picked up ONGC from this pack. How are the charts looking like for this one?
So, looking at the overall chart, the buying that has happened in the past, 2 odd years has been terrific in this stock from a longer term perspective, and even shorter term. This stock came down from sub 195 odd levels to about 120 odd levels. So very importantly, 38.2% retracement comes to this 148 odd levels, and which is where this stock has witnessed some bounce from. I believe this stock can move up now from current levels. Everything is there to support this stock. There are not many shorts in the system. So it should go up. I believe look to buy the stock at current levels. A small stop loss of around 142 can be kept. This stock can go up towards that 165, 170 odd levels very soon.
Moving on to the stock number 27 that is in focus, and that's Cera Sanitary Ware, and this is on the back of a brokerage note coming in from ICICI Securities, where they maintain an ad rating on this particular counter, though their target price is lower than the current market price. Target price is at 6,216 rupees. But I'm just highlighting the takeaways coming in from the analyst meet that ICICI Securities analyst had with the management. They say that the demand scenario remains healthy for their core category. They indicated that they are on track to achieve its guidance of doubling their revenues in the next 40 months starting FY22. They have taken no price hike across the segments, and they also don't foresee any adverse pressure on the margins as the raw material cost remains almost flat on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The brownfield expansion facility is also on track to commence production from the second quarter of FY24, and that will be a major growth driver for the company going ahead. And very positive commentary coming in from this report, and you can see the stock is trading higher by around 4.5%.
All right, moving on, Nirav, let's put the spotlight on the cement space then, and Ultratech Cement. How is this one looking on the charts to you? Do you think that this will outperform the rest of the cement pack this year at least?
Yeah, most likely. See, this stock, when all the cement stocks were moving, this stock was in consolidation. And now, when every other stock is actually in consolidation, this stock has given a breakout. And I believe this stock is not going to stop very soon. A very important breakout has come in at around 7350, 7400 odd levels, and we've got a weekly closing above the same as well. And I believe now this stock can move up towards its previous high, which is around 8000, 8200 odd levels. So that is the band where it can move to from current levels. Look to buy the stock at current levels. You can keep a stop loss of 7400 for your longs, and just generally buy on it. This is the strongest stock. The overall volume profile and open interest profile is also very strong.
Moving on and shifting focus to the banking space, Ashesha Bandhan Bank was the stock which actually tanked very sharply in yesterday's trading session. Seemed to be holding itself in green today. Tell us, any news flow coming in on Bandhan Bank?
Was under pressure today. In fact, today also it started off in the red but has recovered from the lowest point of the day, now gaining nearly 0.8%. The stock could possibly get excluded from MSCI Standard Index. Remember that the stock is down 19% in the last 1 month. The stock currently trades at 188 odd levels, and if it falls below that 170 rupee per share mark by April 17 and stays there for a week, the stock could possibly be excluded from MSCI Standard Index in May 2023 review. Exclusion will result to an outflow of about 80 million US dollars, which is equivalent to about 7 days volume on the stock. The stock, as I mentioned, started off in the red but has now recovered 0.8% higher for Bandhan Bank.
All right, moving on. Let's put the spotlight on an FMCG major. And this time, no, we are not talking about ITC, but we will talk about HUL, Nirav. Why? How are the charts looking for HUL? Because all the spotlight has been grabbed by only ITC. No doubt it has the highest weight in the FMCG index, but I don't think HUL should be left behind, right?
Yeah, see, this has been a blockbuster stock in the past 10 years. Tremendous return the stock has given. But the recent pattern is a bit negative, and I believe a double top kind of a formation is taking shape. Also, slowly but steadily, it is making a lower top, lower bottom formation in the near-term charts. It has come near its resistance 2510 and 2550. There are two resistance areas, and I believe if you are holding long, at least from a near-term perspective, you should exit it because this stock is headed downwards. It should make a good base around this 2200 to 2000 levels, which is a good support area. It has to retest that lower level, and only then probably you will see some buying emerging from a medium-term perspective. Until then, selling on rise is a good strategy. So look to sell this stock at current levels for shorts 2620. This should be the stop loss on the cash spot front, and around 2000 to 2200 in between, you can book profits.
Okay, let's shift focus to the financial space, and we have the right man with the right stock out there. Harsh, you have picked up Max Financials. Tell us, what is the news flow coming in from this one?
Well, yes, Srishti. So we have 3 million shares which have exchanged hands in a bunch trade. What's happened is that's essentially taken the stock up 2% in early trade. That's roughly 30 lakh shares, 3 million shares, and that comprises around 1% of the share capital of Max Financial. So clearly solid volume coming there. Of course, buyers and sellers yet to be known, but largely that's the reason why the stock is buzzing up 2%.
Alright, moving on. Nirav, let's talk about SAIL. How is this one looking to you on the charts? I don't want to use our templated dialogue that will sail through going ahead, but you have some new words that you've coined for SAIL's performance.
I think using that word would be right at this point of time. It seems that it should sail through. This stock has made its bottom, just like most of the metal space stocks, especially PSUs. They've made their bottoms, and from there they are making a higher top, higher bottom formation levels. Slowly but steadily, it is getting there. So it did witness some selling in the last week, but that has been arrested. A very important support level from 80 and 78. those are, these two levels are very, very important. So whenever it comes there, it witnesses good buying. So that should be a stop loss. 78 should be a stop loss to buy the stock. Now it is slated to move towards that 92 to 95 band, which is a resistance zone historically, but I think that will be retested because the trend is up. So look to buy the stock at current levels for that target of around 92 to 95, and 78 should be the stop loss.
All right, shifting focus then to Jindal Stainless, and this particular counter was seeing a good uptick at open. Around 2.8% is where the stock headed on an intraday basis, taking their sharpest intraday gain since March 22nd. No doubt the stock has given up all of its gain. Right now it is trading flat with a negative bias. The company said that they would acquire 49% stake in Indonesia-based New Yaking for about $157 million. Remember, this deal also includes construction and operation of a nickel pig iron facility in Indonesia's one of Indonesia's islands. The plant will be commissioned within 2 years and will have annual nameplate production capacity of up to 2 lakh metric tons. This is what the company has said. No doubt the stock could not hold on to the strong gains that had opened up for trade. Right now it's trading flat with a negative bias as we speak.
Okay, moving on to the next stock in focus, and seems like Vijay Keria's stock picks are seen to be buzzing. We did touch upon Shalby Limited, and the other counter is Elecon Engineering, up by 3%. And Nirav, this one is on your radar. You expect the momentum to continue on this one?
Yeah, so I had no idea it was picked by Vijay sir, but I believe this stock should move up. The reason being, in this decline, you need to find stocks which haven't really gone down much, and they were held on to their support levels, have consolidated, and are now slated to move up with the markets. So I believe this is one stock which hasn't gone down much. Very good consolidation in place. Also, the overall pattern, the long-term pattern continues to be positive. This stock has hit its support area in the last couple of days, which was around this 360 levels, and from there a good U-turn has come in, a good reversal has come in. I believe this stock can now move up towards that 415, 425 odd levels. So look to buy this stock from that near-term perspective for that target, and you can keep a stop loss of around 360 on a closing basis for your longs.
Moving on to a sector that is in focus, and that is sugar space, because all these sugar stocks are seen to be buzzing, and that's on the back of the rally in the sugar prices we are seeing internationally, and they're not very far from their 6-year high levels. Domestically, if we track the news, then it says that the Maharashtra will produce nearly 16% less sugar as the mills close early this time around. And do remember that Maharashtra crushing season is very important, because it is one of the highest producers of sugarcane in the nation, and that's on back of this news. All these counters are buzzing because this could actually hit the production levels this year around, and that can reflect in the prices, and that's the reason why we are seeing all these sugar counters trading higher in trade today and still holding up itself in green.
All right, sweet gains registered by sugar counters, but I cannot say the same for HDFC Life, Neera, because this one is not seeing anything sweet over the last 1 year, or even YTD performance has been pretty negative. And in the news flow also for the insurance pack has not been great to support the stock price movement. Where do you see HDFC Life headed from here on? A bittersweet moment in store.
Yeah, it's safe to say it's left a sour taste in many people's mouths. But yes, after a year or so of consolidation, I believe this sector as a whole is shaping up to move up in the next couple of months. In fact, next 6 months should be good, I believe, for this sector. HDFC Life or ICICI Pru or SBI Life, all the other stocks, they are making good bottom formations, good volumes are seen. So I believe HDFC Life, very importantly, has made its bottom. It should now move up towards that resistance zone of 550 to 580. Seems to be, at this point, it's at a good level, a good risk reward formation here. look to buy for a reversal from current levels. You can keep a stop loss of around 465 for your longs, and 550 is just the first target that can come in. If it plays out, I believe for the next 6 months it should hit its all-time highs, which is around that 720, 730 odd levels.
Okay, but moving on, and let's shift focus to the auto space. And from the pack, Ashesha, you have picked up Bajaj Auto. Tell us, what's the news flow?
Focus on the back of a brokerage note. JP Morgan has come out with a note. It is maintaining its overweight stance in the stock with a target price of 4,400 rupees per share. The stock currently trades at 3,870 odd levels, and 4,400 is the target that JP Morgan has given. They say that the risk reward of the stock is currently pretty attractive. They believe Bajaj Auto shares could potentially re-rate in 2023, driven by company becoming more aggressive as far as its EV launches are concerned. As far as exports are concerned, they believe they are likely to bottom out anytime soon, and we could see potential recovery from the second quarter of FY24. As far as domestic two-wheeler recovery is concerned, which is still 21% below its pre-COVID levels, they expect this recovery to gain momentum. As far as margins are concerned, margins they believe could improve considering the overall mix the company has, and the current valuations they believe are attractive at about 13.4 times FY25 PE. So on the back of this note that has come in from JP Morgan, which is maintaining its overweight stance and a target price of 4,400 rupees per share, the stock is gaining in trade. It is at the highest point of the day, over 2% higher for Bajaj Auto.
Right, that's Bajaj Auto. I'm sure that Shristi was pretty uncomfortable with the fact that Ashesha was talking about the auto space, isn't it, Shristi? I could see that sort of uneasiness, the fact that Ashesha took Bajaj Auto before you could actually.
But that's okay. I just tossed very quickly and simply. Tell us the news.
But Harsh, talking about PNB Housing, you'll make sure that nobody takes your space, isn't it?
So we've got PNB Housing, which is all set to raise 2,500 crore in terms of a rights issue. The price for that is 275 rupees a share. Record date being 5th April. 9 crore odd shares up for grabs, to be issued to existing shareholders. It's a rights issue. Rights issue opening date is on the 13th of April and it closes on the 17th of April. So keep your eye out on that one. The stock, though, is a buzz on the back of that rights issue. Of course, fresh capital coming through for PNB Housing and equity capital, more importantly. And on the back of that, the stock is up 1.5+%.
All right, let's shift focus then and let's talk about Emphasis, because Emphasis is in focus in today's trading session. It gave a clarification to the exchanges saying that they have no exposure to Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, or even Silvergate Capital, either as a client or as a banker. Also, they have given some sort of quote when it comes to their revenue as well. The fact that they've said that they don't have any exposure to the group. They've also said that let me take to the point. They've said that their business from US regional banks is a low single-digit % contributor to their overall revenue. So on back of that particular clarification coming from Emphasis, no doubt this is 1 year chart for Emphasis, but today the stock is gaining in trade. You had these mid-cap IT companies that were under pressure post that the news of Silicon Valley Bank as well as Signature Bank coming about. But there you go, Emphasis giving a clarification on that particular front, and the stock is trading higher by about 1% as we speak right now.
Okay, moving on and shifting focus to NBCC. Harsh, what's happening out here? Because this particular counter is high by around 7%.
Well, yes, fresh order win coming through, Srishti. That's about the only news that's up. But 146 crore odd of fresh orders. It's construction of hostel building, including certain other boundary wall, etc. and various other works with regard to redevelopment as well as maintenance of SIDBI buildings on a pan-India basis. So couple of those order wins coming through. Now, mind you, NBCC itself has had a turnover in FY22 of around 7,500 odd crore, and the order wins for the month of March alone amount to roughly 2,300 crore. That's a very solid pipeline in terms of orders for a company having turnover of just 7,600 crore. Very solid wins coming through in the month of March, and probably all of that is accumulating up 7.2% in trade today.
Swings actually for the infra space coming about, be it NBCC, RPP Infra, even you have GR Infra that is buzzing today on back of an order win. You also have IRB Infra also that was in focus on back of the Mumbai-Pune Expressway, the 18% uptick coming in. But the other counter that is in focus in today's trading session is Sterling and Wilson, because shortly you had the company actually state that the promoter group has released pledge of 10 lakh shares, or which accounts to about 0.5% equity. So on back of that, yes, Sterling and Wilson that is buzzing in trade today. Remember that a few days ago also the stock was a buzz because they had emerged as a successful bidder for a project of NTPC Renewable Energy at Ran of Kutch in Gujarat, and the project was worth about 2,100 crore rupees. And of late, if you see, Sterling and Wilson has been a standout candidate this year itself. Also, this particular stock has managed to post gains of about 15%. Remember that 2023 has been a pretty volatile year on the whole, but today you have Sterling and Wilson holding on to good gains, about 2.5% as we speak.
Okay, so those were the list of stocks that were seen to be buzzing today. But with this, it's time to wrap this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Harsh, Ashesha, as well as Nirav, and earlier Sumit also joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a goodbye from me and Cheryl and the entire team who put this show together. But as we leave you, markets are not very far from its day's highest point, isn't it, Cheryl?
Absolutely. Looks like we have 1 hour for trading session, but for now, markets are at the day's highest point.
Okay, so it's a wrap from us, but closing take will take the action ahead, so stay tuned.